JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. Do you have employees? Have you taken the employee retention tax credit? If you haven't, you're totally missing the boat. I don't know how you don't qualify. Most of us experienced a government shutdown. Guess what else? Essential businesses do qualify. Quick question for you on the employee retention tax credit. Have you looked at it? Have you put together any spreadsheets? Are you familiar with anything related to that other than you read an article? Well, I'm putting together a seminar for you. It's super cheap and it has a ton of information in it. It is being put together so that you can walk through and get this employee retention tax credit, whether for 2020 or 2021. Now, hang on a second. I've got 10 videos you're going to get instant access to. One is, how do you prepare a Form 941X? At this point, this is the only way you're going to get your employee retention tax credit in your pocket for 2020. How do you prepare a Form 7200? Have a video covering it. That's a way that you can get the money now within about 10 days by sending a simple fax to the IRS. Did you know that for first quarter 2021, there's 2 ways to determine if you qualify on the gross receipts test? That's right. One is you compare the fourth quarter of 2020 to 2019, and you also get to compare first quarter 2021 to first quarter 2019. That's correct. Both of those are 2019. What was your business doing in 2019 gross receipts? Well before the pandemic. Where are you now? Yes, 2020, it's a 50% decrease in gross receipts. In 2021, do you know what it is? It's only a 20% decrease in gross receipts. And then all the wages potentially qualify for the entire quarter up to $10,000 per employee of qualifying wages, which then gives you up to, and this is per employee, up to $7,000 tax credit per employee. And guess what? In 2021, that is per quarter. It's up to $10,000 in wages per employee per quarter. And therefore, a 70% credit is, again, $7,000 tax credit, as in money in your business's pocket. And it has now been extended all the way through the end of the year. So if you're not interested in it right now, maybe you should be. Maybe you should be aware at a minimum, check out your gross receipts. Maybe you're going to be down for second or third or fourth quarter later in this year. I hope not. But when you're looking at this, you can get it in addition to PPP. But there's, in essence, a way to ensure that you're doing it all properly. And so many are making very incorrect, haste, and I dare say ignorant decisions related to this without just spending a little bit of time. So my seminar is going to be walking you through a number of the steps. Now, when you sign up, you immediately get access to worksheets, flow charts, how it works for 2020, 21, examples for 20, examples for 21, links to all the different forms. Yes, you can get them in public, but I've got them all in one spot, plus these 10 videos. One is, how do you figure out aggregation? Do you even know what that is? How do you report this for purposes on your financials and then on your tax return? I have a video going over that. Do owners qualify, and spouses and family? How does that come into play? I have a couple of videos related to that. Those of you that think you're essential, congratulations, you think you're essential, but are you? And essential businesses qualify. The IRS goes out of their way to show you how they qualify. I have a deep dive video, not available to the public, to go through that with you, as well as a number of others. The seminar that I'm doing now, the part 2, because you're going to also get immediate access to the first seminar that I did, not available to the public, which was 2.5 hours, including a PowerPoint. This second seminar that I'm doing, that you have access to attend live. If you can't make it live, doesn't matter, because you will then have access to that seminar to watch as many times as you want for 90 days. And this next seminar is going to walk through with you the intricacies of this. You're leaving money on the table. You're leaving money on the table, and if your advisor has told you that you don't qualify, and unless they have given that to you by showing it to you in black and white and explained it to you in a way that you agree, then I don't believe them. They need to ask you questions. They can't just go, oh, you don't qualify. Not possible to make a decision that quick. But I actually had to write it down. I'm going to have a worksheet that I'm going to go through with you, and you're going to get the Excel spreadsheet on how to determine your average number of employees. That's a huge factor in all of this. It's based on the average number of employees in 2019, an Excel spreadsheet to break down your gross receipts, a strategy on looking at paid and incurred, because as you're mixing this potentially with PPP and PPP forgiveness, there's a strategy to look at from that perspective. The other aspect is, well, how much do you need in payroll to achieve PPP forgiveness? Well, you know it's 60%, right? Well, SBA and IRS have come out and have indicated that if you already filed for PPP forgiveness, you then can go back very carefully and pick apart and ensure that you're only including the wages that you needed to achieve the forgiveness. I'm going to go through that. I'm also going to walk through the methods of how you would go about strategizing, as in maximizing your credit as well as the PPP forgiveness. Looking at the time periods, taking into account that for ERTC, owners don't get to be included if they own 50%, if they own over 50%, or their spouses. Family doesn't get to be included, but they do all get to be included for PPP. Well, for PPP, wages can't be included for more than 100,000 divided by 52 times 24 weeks, which is the covered period. The covered period is by days. It has its own limitations for PPP. The ERTC is during the shutdown and or during the quarter that the business has the reduction in gross receipts. And that limitation is 10,000 per employee per quarter. So there's a number of things to be looking at to ensure that you are maximizing the credit. See, the credit's there for you to take advantage of. It's there for you to, in essence, reward you for keeping your employees on during the time of a shutdown. And guess what? If you're under a certain number of employees, even if you weren't shut down, even if your employees were working, you still can qualify for the credit. Your gross receipts are down. I hate that. But that is different from qualifying for PPP 2. Also, what's the definition of the gross receipts when determining that? I've had a couple of people have said, oh, I'm right at 24 point, or I'm sorry, on, see, lots of little intricacies there. I'm right at 19.8% of being down. Or I'm right at 21.6. Well, did you include properly the things in gross receipts? Did you include things that don't need to be in gross receipts? Are you including things that have more to do with PPP and not to do with the ERTC? So I'm going to break those things down and define it. So if you took this seminar before, this is not an overlap. There will be some basics that I'm going to go back through, but the reason it won't be an overlap to the first seminar is that you're going to get access to the first seminar to go through and walk through all of those things. The IRS has come out with new FAQs, okay? 71 FAQs. So obviously you can go through those. I'm going to go through some significant ones, one of which is giving us a now roadmap to determine, especially for essential businesses, what part of your business is considered nominal and what is not, because if a portion of your business is not nominal and it was affected, then the entire business is affected, most notably related to the essential businesses, if you will. And essential businesses are different everywhere. And at the end of the day, if you've just been told you're an essential business, you don't qualify, it's not that cut and dry, period. If you've been told it's that cut and dry and you can't get answers out of whoever's helping you, then you need to find a different advisor related to this, because that person just doesn't know. They're being lazy. They're being ignorant. Because if you didn't qualify, them saying to you, well, you're an essential business, you don't qualify, is ignorant and lazy. And you could lose out on thousands, if not tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax credits. Why would you want to do that? They should be asking you questions. They should be asking about your operations. They should be asking about what the effect of your business was during a shutdown. They should be making sure that whatever you're including in your gross receipts on your books is actually gross receipts for these purposes. Many businesses that do their own books, they include things in gross receipts that aren't really gross receipts, starting with a line of credit or PPP, or the list goes on. So you'd want to look at this very carefully. So anyways, I'm putting this together. I'm just working on it, and I'm just like, you know what? I got to do another video talking about this because it's such valuable information. Go to the link to learn more about this in the body of this video. And you will then see, because when you go to potentially sign up, you'll be able to scroll and scroll and scroll with all of the information that you're going to have access to, which is, as Dax the CPA would say, it is worth the price of admission, just the immediate resources that you get. So this additional seminar, I will be able to share with you live, and then after that, you'll be able to watch it back. If you don't make the live, you can watch it back. It'll be posted tomorrow night. If you're watching this after the live, well, then you can sign up and get access to everything that I just told you, including the second seminar, immediately. Don't leave money on the table here, okay? I'm a certified public accountant. I'm not advocating for you to take advantage of the system in a way that is undeserving. What you are to do, though, is take advantage of what has been made available to you if you qualify. So ensure that you qualify, and then when you qualify, what wages qualify. You get to include health insurance that the business pays on behalf of the employees as well. This thing adds up, and you need to be aware of it, because now it's on the table for the entire year of 2021. Well, if you've made it to here, I think you're interested. I won't let you down. Click on the link, check this out, super cheap. You'll get access to tons of info. And then if you've already determined you don't qualify for ERTC, but you made it to here, then I don't know that you actually believe that you don't qualify for ERTC, and you should dig a little deeper. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you'd come to my seminar. Love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me.